There we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to an episode of the Discussing Resilient podcast live. Myself, Mr. Death Guy Dave, and Mr. William Reader here, and we're here for a sort of Sunday hangout slash sort of chat. We'll be continuing our Codex sort of like breakdown on Tuesday. This one's a bit more just like a general chat, really, guys, isn't it? And just seeing how everyone's going.
Yeah.
Obviously, some of us have played some games. I know Will's played the Mirror. I know Mr. Dave smashed up some Space Wolves. It'd be cool to sort of have a bit of a chat with you guys. And obviously, because this is, we're not on a time scale to sort of go through with trying to get a codex and attachments fitted. It means we can interact with you, the chat, a bit more as well, which is quite nice. So, Mr. Will, how have you been?
I've been good, mate. I've been good. Been play football this morning. Then me and the missus went out the pub, and we just came back from sitting in a beer garden all day. So I'm nice and relaxed. There we go. A few beers been synced. But how about you guys? What about you? You were saying you've been out in the garden, Dave, have you?
Yeah, I've been tending Nurgle's garden. Well, my garden, but it's.
I hope your garden isn't like Nurgle's garden.
It's not. But there's plenty of living things in there, so that's really cool. No, just been doing lots of I basically feel like I've had a day of exercise, but I did get a barbecue in for lunch, which I put in. And I just have a few drinks over that, which is nice, and just chilling out. And so this is quite a nice way to end the day, to be honest, to hang out with you guys and chat and just collect our thoughts, perhaps, on what's been, I think it's fair to say, a very busy week, particularly for our resident short man.
Yeah, I mean, Aidan, you've been absolutely smashing. Me and Dave, round of applause. In one video a day. I mean,
yeah, man, well done.
We've said privately in the chat that me and Dave feel a bit guilty that we're not getting involved, and we've suggested things that we could do, and Aidan's like, no, that's just more content that I have to deal with. So it's like, fair play. But I mean, so should we pick up what we were talking about before then? Because, while chat are going, because we've just seen, as we've talked about in previous videos, this is, we, as people who've been following for a long time, though, we are the Death Guard, and, we're not going to be changing our content. Because as of next Saturday, I imagine all of a sudden Death Guard on the other channels is probably going to sort of fade quite significantly. Yeah, considering Thousand Suns have just been announced. And I suspect Thousand Suns are going to be a busted book. Like, I know people are like saying that we're strong, but I think we're strong. I put it like this, I don't think we're any stronger than Double Oath Ultramarines. I'll put it that way. And I know that's problematic, and they need to look at Double Oath Ultramarines, but I still think it's a good game into those kind of armies. I think this could be the S-tier book that kind of lets us kind of creep to the background a little bit, how like Mordaka let Yanari and Guard kind of slip under the radar a bit. We sort of forgot how egregious Yanari and Guard were because Mordaka was just like, whoa. And I think Thousand Suns are likely going to eclipse us. Everyone's saying that Death Guard are strong and they're worried about some stuff. I think everyone's going to be like, oh my God, Thousand Suns, whoa. Because that's just what Thousand Suns do. It's them and Eldar are like, they're just the two factions where they've just got tricks where the top players are just like, they're just going to run riot with them. But I don't know what you guys think. Do you agree? Do you think, what are your thoughts on that?
We will have thoughts, but I don't know. It's like everything else. Until you see it in the wild, it could be. Well, you're right. Like it could be really strong. They might struggle to see how they're going to reinvent what's already a very Thousand Sunsy experience. I think that for me that could be the challenge with the book is how do you, because it's already right. The number of sorcerers you've got on the table gives you a certain amount of power, and those power lets you do rituals. There was already a very flavoursome feel to Thousand Suns. So I think if they mess with it too much, it might actually go in the wrong direction potentially. I don't know. I don't think the new. I know we saw the new announced unit. A little while ago. I think I don't know if that's people have been a bit underwhelming, but I don't know. Until I see it in the wild, we'll have to see it because it all depends. If they've still got small amounts of models on the table and it still requires sorcerers to do stuff, and you kill the sorcerers, well then you're still in the same situation of.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be like Eldar. I think they're going to get weaker rules because their rules were just too strong.
Very strong. Yeah.
Then they're going to get more units that kind of added to the new, still strong rules that I'm predicting are going to be like problematic. Okay. And I'm only saying this because we all know that this is what they did to Eldar. I think they're going to do something very similar, where they're maybe going to get like, I don't know, like a new a new sort of like, I just do mortal wounds by looking at you because I did some Yahtzee dice at the start of the turn or something. Like, I don't know. It seems to me like what Thousand Suns always get. But yeah, but I don't know. I mean, it's one of these things where the main point is, though, obviously we'll be continuing to talk about Death Guard, but next week I think yeah, let's have a see. But what about you? What about you, Ian? Come on.
Like, I think, I get what you mean. Thousand Suns have potential to be one of those armies because they tend to, like, I mean, if you look at Index, doesn't really play by the rules. Let's say that. And also the army's in like a really toxic place at the moment. Because basically there's like one build because of how it functions around the characters. Basically, needing to be there for Cabal points, and then obviously as GW's up to the rules on them because their rules are brokenly strong. They just can't afford anything at the moment. So in a way, I think it'll be a great reset. Sort of, hopefully means Thousand Suns can take a lot more units and have more variety in the list. I imagine Magnus is probably going to get toned down because Magnus is not even a question in Thousand Suns. Oh, it's just you take Magnus.
So strong. Yeah.
I hope they do what they're doing more. He's still he's in a position where he's still really strong, but he's not just like all consuming and all powerful, and he's in everything automatically. But I mean, I get what you mean, Will. Like Thousand Suns Zinch doesn't really play by the rules. That's kind of fluffy for them to not play by the rules. So there is a potential for it to get some out of hand stuff, but there could also be the potential where they've seen the. Sorry, let me just mute my Discord because it's just pinging like mad. Let me just mute the server. There we go. Mute. I've got to mute my own server. Just so stream doesn't keep hearing the
mute your own server.
So there is like the potential GW does the opposite way because they tend to do this with especially Chaos factions. When a Chaos faction is good, they go, we don't like that, and then it's the chance that they go, instead of like Eldar route, they just gut the faction. And they're just like, cool, we'll worry about you next edition, which I hope isn't the case, obviously. I don't want anyone to feel like that. But there is a chance that because they couldn't figure out how to make the Cabal mechanic work, they're just going to like gut it. Which, I mean, you look at Death Guard Codex, that's really well done. The World Eater one is a bit of a sour point for some people, but when you actually see it play and people are getting used to it now, they're starting to enjoy it a lot more.
Yeah. World Eater's one's good.
It's
just
good.
not good. Do you know how just to interject, someone I played the World Eater's one, and do you know how it was described me best, and I completely get this. It's not what World Eaters players signed up for. They signed up for a fast combat melee army, and they've made them a complete different army. And the people who wanted that are now like, well, if it was that from the start, then I wouldn't have fucking bothered. Like, and I get it. There's a couple of people in our team who've kind of been pushing through, and that's basically what their analogies are like. It's not that it's a weak book, but it doesn't play how I want World Eaters to play.
Right.
And if I knew they were going to play like this when I bought the models, I just wouldn't have bought them. I'd have bought something else. So I can see it from that kind of point of view, and because that kind of put it into a good context to me. It's like, okay, I can see it, So yeah, I could get it from that, but maybe Thousand Suns will be the same. Do you think then, or?
I don't know. The weird thing is, and it's the same with Grey Knights. Thousand Suns are a army that in every other edition is a psychic army, and now we have an edition where psychic phase is not a thing. So they're already kind of weird to make them work. So we'll have to see. All I hope is that Doombolt has gone to hell. Like, fuck Doombolt. But it probably won't be. Doombolt is very iconic. So I imagine
triple Doombolt now.
It'll be even easier. Goes off on a 3-on-3 dash. There you go.
Yeah. Turns out 6 Death Shot aren't a problem when you can just drop like 18 more wounds and go away.
Exactly.
This is what I worry about. But I mean, I think the most the thing that kind of I'm frustrated. I'm kind of glad but frustrated because obviously all us kind of Chaos Pantheon players were kind of in it together. But like, I bought that Thousand Suns army because I got it cheap, as I've talked this before. It's still sat on my shelf. Like, I've got this like 2,000 point painted, and I was maybe if Death Guard had been out for 6 months, maybe I'd have dabbled with some Thousand Suns just to try it, But now I'm not. It's like GW don't want my money. Like, I'm not going to spend money on it now, whereas before I would have done because I'm locked into Death Guards. I'm not even going to dabble, sit on the shelf for another umpteen length of time. But yeah, so I think it's good, but I wish that they'd give a bit of breathing space. It'd be good if it was Votan or Imperial Knights next, so it was kind of like, give it a breathe and then we can kind of come back. But I understand from a Thousand Suns player's point of view, if that's your only army, you might be a bit kind of frustrated if us and World Eaters have got it and Emperor's Children's out now and you're like, well, why have I got to wait? So I do see it from that point of view as well. I'm just seeing it more from the point of view of people who play multiple Chaos factions. It might be nice to focus on this, then move to this, and then move to that, because there are a lot of those guys out there.
I guess leading it back to that whole conversation is, we were saying, there's a ton of books dropped, right?
Yeah. I think 11th is going to come this summer. I think they've sped it up because, there's like 4 books now. But I think it's a Codex continuation edition like they did 9th to 10th. I think we're going to keep all the books. They might change some of the core rules, add some new keywords in there on a really confusing spreadsheet like they did last time. But I think that's what they'll do. And it's because if they're not doing it this summer and next summer, then they need to pump the brakes a little bit, perhaps, because there's like 4 books left and like more than a year to release them. So I don't know. Like I'm just. It's a wild speculation prediction. I know 30k has just been announced a re-release, but what do you guys think? Would you see it being this summer, or do you think maybe it's next year, or not thought about it?
Very quickly, thank you very much, Whit, for becoming a Plague Marine. Really appreciate that, and also Derek Bailey, who did it before the stream.
I was going to say, Derek did right at the beginning.
I didn't forget. So thank you very much, guys. Again, go to our YouTube channel homepage, go to the post tab. You'll find yourself a link to get yourself in our Discord, joining all the good stuff going on in there. I don't know, like, to say, like, if they were, like, say, 11th is this summer, I don't know, because the problem is, I don't see them dropping a new edition of Heresy and 40k at the same time, because you just compete for attention. What I can see them do is, I think they are trying to get all the books out. I definitely agree with that one. I think they've got to the point, because I think they could have a campaign series that they need to get done before next summer. So they need to get all the codexes out so that they can get the campaign and then do 1 book or 2 books a month. Because you think about it, given how many factions there are now, you'll probably have to do like a 10-book series to get every faction covered and like to have something in the books, like we had with Arcs of Omen, or what was the really the funky one which we didn't get to play because lockdown. What was that called?
The one that made us really good for like that period when we were
Psychic Awakening.
Yeah. War with the Spider was our one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was like we were like the last in that series, and we got like one of the first codes. It was like, but can't we just use those other rules for a bit longer?
And then we couldn't use it, and then new edition came along. I got to play that War of the Spider literally once, which was really bad. So they could do that, which would be quite cool. But I don't see us getting 11th. But I do agree with you that I think this will be a Codex rollover edition. So I don't think when 11th comes out, your 10th Codex is just instantly invalidated. I think it'll be like 8th to 9th was where it was just like, you still use the Codex, there is a new one going to come out at some point in the edition for you, but the actual edition changes won't be as drastic. It'll just be basically, how we've got that like 5 pages of like FAQ and core rule changes at the moment.
Yeah.
That'll just become the core rules and baked in. But yeah, the fact we're on 30 factions at the moment is fucking insane.
It is nuts, isn't it?
Enjoy reffing that, Dave.
The question is, are they going to do all the Space Marine subchapters as well? Because that's also going to be annoying if we have the year of chaos and then we get to this and then it's just like 7 months of a new Space Marine faction week after week after like month after month after month until next summer. That'll be super annoying if it's like Imperial Fists, then Black Templars and Salamanders, then all these other like Kokaradons, just because they've got to like put them out there, do you know what I mean, to put something new into it. Like, I don't know, like the fact that Thousand Sons has been like announced today, like fair play, like I think that's really good for Thousand Sons players, but I just wish that it was breathing a bit more, unless they're leading to something like the 11th in the summer or something like that.
Yeah, I still think that I think they're dropping all the books rapidly this year. We're going to get new edition next year so that they've got all the books out for it, and then I think Aiden might be right. I think we might get like a first half or first quarter of next year might be a event or something that leads into it, but they've got all the books out, so then they can go into the next 11th or whatever it's going to be, 10v2, whatever they call it, with an ability to go, right, everything's out and we've had 6 months of play with all the books out and or whatever it'll be, and that allows us now to make changes at a game level to an edition, rather than be like, we've still got a load of codexes that are trailing, that haven't even been brought up to speed with the others, whilst we're launching new rules and trying to set up new, new mission play, new maps. So I don't know. That's my view on it. But I think it's totally valid as well to have your perspective as well. I think it's I don't none of us know what's going on in the great cloud.
I mean,
right?
It's just pure speculation and sort of just reacting to the fact that we've seen 1K Suns today and kind of I guess a bit shocked by it being so soon. I think
I will say, shocked it's not a dual release for Space Wolves. I thought that's what they were saying.
I thought Wolves was going to be. I thought Wolves was out as well. Was going to get done.
Yeah, I thought
Imperial Knights were going to be out because it did that article last week.
True.
It's
but is it going to be? They go. Oh, it's a year of chaos, and they're like, here's this, and then everybody says, by the way, here's Space Wolves.
Yeah, that roadmap's a complete waste of time, to be honest. It's almost just like content fodder, if that makes sense. It lets people do content, but it's proven pretty unreliable.
Boo.
I feel sorry for Knights players. I don't get how they get excited about the new model because whenever we're sat there and we're like, oh, what can a new model look like? Like, surely as a Knight player, it's gonna be 2 different guns for a Knight. Your release is not
going to have 2 legs.
Your release is 2 guns on a sprue.
It's going to be a robot with 2 new guns.
Do you know what? I think Knights could have more. I think they need the Matrix, the 3rd Matrix film. You've seen that? We've all seen that. That big battle. Yeah. I think they need to do loading crews. Do you know what I mean? So War Dogs could be followed around by like squires, and they could just be reloading guns. So you get some infantry, but they have rules based, and they're kind of cheap chaff. They can do actions, and then if they need, you get a buff. That would be kind of cool. Do you know what I mean? If it was sort of I'm
just laughing at Chuck's comment in chat. Hey, this one's got a different hat.
It does have a different hat.
Well, you're totally right. I think the problem is for Knights is it's the lore, right? You go, Death Guard in the lore is a ex-Imperial Legion with tanks and demons now, and it's all corrupted, and it's got gods, and there's tons and tons to it. Imperial Knights is big knights and small knights.
Robot.
It is robots.
But in the lore, I'm sure they support. They have a lot of like the Matrix example. They've got that scene where he's shooting and the guys behind him putting more stuff into his guns.
You couldn't keep up with them.
Yeah.
A knight single-handedly as a robot can charge right into the melee and a huge battlefield. Little kind of humans running after it would just get
it could be a little truck, like the Votan Sagittar, something like that. Do you know what I mean? It's it has a couple of crappy guns and maybe it's a small gunner.
Just across the battlefield.
What if instead of having gun arms, it's just 2 giant containers, and that becomes a dedicated transport Knight, and it walks forward and just puts them down and lets them out, and it's 100 points for a Knight chassis.
Why not? I mean, that's what the Titans do, isn't it? In the lore, they have Imperial Guard in the legs and stuff like that, kind of in them. I don't know. It's more just. I know what you're saying though. It's kind of the design space is very limited, and then as soon as you open it up, does it just start to get a bit silly, or does it just sort of I don't know. It's an odd one, isn't it? I know exactly what you're saying though. They are such I don't know, they need the rule that Imperial Chaos Knights get with demons. They should be allowed 500 points of guard, but limited to certain units. They can't take Lehman Russes because that's just going to be stupid.
Get out.
They can take infantry squads. You know what I mean? And for every infantry squad, they can take 1 elite infantry squad. So something like that, up to 500 points. That would at least make them feel a bit more like a sort of army.
I got one really, really good idea for them, and that is comment, subscribe.
For the Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Very quickly, Raoul FB, thank you for playing, mates. Super appreciate it. Dana Johnson, been a member for 15 months now. Yeah, she says, great work, guys. Yeah. Congrats on the 11k so fast. Yeah, we did get 11k subs, which is kind of mad. 10% of all our subs in the last 5 days. Nice. Derp coming with the $4.99 super chat, just with his classic throwing up emoji. Thank you so much, Derp. Taj coming with a gifted membership as well. Thank you so much, Taj. Congrats to Animo who got it, and thank you for saying thank you, Animo. But yeah, I just saw a question in the chat there. Question for Discussing Resilient. Do you guys still got to be careful what you talk about due to NDA when it comes to future stuff for Death Guard? No, because we don't know anything for future stuff for Death Guard. The NDA literally is was for this Codex and log boxes, which is now public. Will literally has it in his hands. But part of that, that's it. As soon as your NDA is up, you don't get anything else. That's it. Back to radio silence until you are called again. So we don't know anything to do with future stuff.
Yeah, you just got the NDA for Death Guard, basically, didn't you?
Yeah.
Because the Vanguard Tactics invite you to be the faction experts.
Yeah, there is a chance, obviously, when new Death Guard Codex is on the horizon, they could contact us again and be like, "Hey, do you want to do it again?" But again, at that point, then we can't tell you about it. So it's like,
or if potentially if there's new models that get added to a range at some point, that kind of thing. I would hope that we'd get contacted again on that front. But no, as it stands, we can now talk about everything and anything Death Guard again.
Yeah, and also, someone also asked a question before, if you could see it, what do you reckon our next brand new unit's going to be for Death Guard? I want to see a Plague Tower so bad. Give me a goddamn Plague Tower. I know it looks so stupid out of place in the army, but goddamn, I want a giant Plague Tower. That could be our super heavy choice. Give it me. Or, have you seen the Baneblade variant with the giant?
Yeah.
Yeah, Plague Reaper. That was it.
Yeah.
I want that. Give me that.
I would actually love a dedicated super heavy.
That would be pretty damn cool. That isn't Mortarion, but he's not really super heavy.
Yeah. That would be like a dedicated an actual
bionic plague, like a bionic great unclean one or something.
Robo clean one.
Robo clean. Or like because I'm sure they could rip it out of the lore somewhere that there'd be like a knight or a knight house that was actually corrupted. I'm sure there's probably something in one of
the lore. Yeah,
that's what I mean. So like a dedicated Nurgle model knight or something, or a tank they're bringing back, I don't know, the corrupted Baneblade or a 30k tank that's fully Nurgle, like something super cool that would just be cool. A different bit. That would be wicked to see.
Before we start speculating about the next Death Guard Codex, let's talk about
It's only been out a week.
So I believe both of you have had a game. Well, I've not been. I've obviously played some games, but I've not melted this week. I'm going to hopefully have a TTS tomorrow, and I'm coming down to Element Games. I'm going to see you there, Will, hopefully on Thursday. Pick up my Plague Festa Warband. I'm looking forward to getting that lot of boxes. And we got the brain, sorry.
War
so you guys have played War Teams, yeah. So
we're playing. You're playing. Have you heard about? Do you know what stealth team is there?
No.
Do you know?
Don't tell me teaming.
Hank, who follows the channel, him and Dan.
Oh,
do you know who's on their team? Do you know? But they've made like a team because they're kind of mates. They've basically got a team with Manny, Mike Porter, and Alex Harrison because they're their mates, and then Hank and Dan. So that's like a stealth sort of I think everyone said, it's mainly quite casual team. Just gonna be like
and then
pseudo Team England.
Casual,
yeah, like the Team England players who just couldn't be asked being on Team England this year.
Jesus.
It's gonna be a good event. I think Team England might actually have something there as well. I think I don't know or not. So it's not going to be the most casual of teams. One.
I think even if Team England are there, they don't sound like the top dogs.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, it's one for a different podcast. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't sure what my thoughts were on that England one because obviously Andy QC's one of our team and people like that. Nothing against him, and I'm sure it's been a really good selection process, and I'd been nothing to do with it. But that list of names wasn't the list of names I expected. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But hopefully they do well. Still supporting the lads, as it were. But yeah, I'm curious to see. Obviously maybe some people are just ducking out this year and stuff like that. But it wasn't the usual list of names. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe they are being open-minded and taking people on merit. But let's see how it goes, innit?
Yeah.
I guess following on from Aidan's statement at the start of that, Will, what have you played?
So I've been playing some different games. So I played
like Monopoly and Cluedo.
Well, I got trolled by Andy QC, like literally trolled by him. So Andy QC, people know him from his Necrons fame, and so I arranged a game with QC thinking I'm going to be turn player one of his Necron builds, and QC had messaged Aidan privately. QC and Aidan are on the team at WAR together. So they were kind of like, Aidan passed him a list, and then QC just arrived. I mean, the list Aidan took is very similar to the one I was running because I think Vivian Vectome kind of writes itself to a certain point. So it was like 300 points different. Literally presented me and put almost the same list I was playing in front of the table on. I was like, mate, you're just trolling me. You just want to beat me with my own army. So yeah. So that was on Purge. So that was interesting. It was good to see some of the decisions that I've made, and well, QC/E and QC, and then the QC's thoughts afterwards. So I've kind of got like a hybrid list off the back of it. I think Virulent Vectorum's really strong, but I think the feedback, because I spoke to a couple of the good people on our team,
Right.
It's quite straight up Warhammer, if that makes sense. It's kind of like it's quite, you know what it's doing.
Yeah, it's
like,
honest.
Apart from minus,
Yeah.
Like Champions of Contagions, the janky one, it seems. But I think Virulent Vectorum is just strong. But I think, so I won't run through the list. Well, I can run through if you want, because mainly I'm more interested in Mortarian's Hammer still. I took that one more because I thought QC, this is why I was a bit miffed. I thought he would want to see some of the stuff that, he might want to see the mini demon prints, you know, what the 6 Death Shroud look like. I thought he'd want to see the Codex. That was his point of playing me. And he turned up to throw me with the same flipping army. But that's just QC all over, to be fair. So the things that I'm coming to do, so rather than sort of break down exact lists and things like that, because I think I'm still trying a lot of different things. Okay. There's a few things that I'm starting to feel are a bit staple. I'm starting to feel like 6 Death Shroud and a Lord of Virulence, so a Lord of Contagion, are in every list in nearly every detachment, because it seems to be like the one unit. Like I was thinking about this the other day. Like, say you're playing against an army, so you're saying like Necrons. What unit kills a 20-man warrior brick? Say you're playing against Tyranids. What unit kills the Norn Queen standing on their expansion objective? And the only thing that reliably does it is that brick. But admittedly, in the previous one, we might not have even had that reliability. So now we've got it. It's a good thing. But I feel like it's also might be a bit of a trap to consistently be putting 400 points into this one unit. But then whenever I write a list without it, I just look at it and I'm like, there's loads of stuff that like is good and it hits hard.
Yeah.
But if someone puts a monolith in front of me, what kills the monolith, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what you guys have come across. I don't know if you guys are feeling the same, or if it's a trap, or if you think, you know, you're seeing different things or not.
Do you want me to go first, or do you want to?
I'll go first because you've actually got a game to talk about. I don't.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I've only got my TTS experience, which is I kind of agree with this 6-man. Like for me, the 6-man brick, I don't think it's. I think you can get away without having it. But for me, in my list specifically, the one that's on the Virulent Vectorium video, go check it out. It is.
God now.
I'm not doing I'm not deep striking that 6-man. That is my mid-board anchor unit that just sits in the middle behind a ruin. Demon Prince sticking his head out the side, marking stuff for my or Lord of Virulence can do it. And he's giving that loan up. And basically, that unit is there, and it's in a 6-man, so I can make the most out of the -1 damage stratagem. Because obviously, the more models there are, the more inbuilt like value you get out of your stratagems. But I do think that you don't have to in other builds like Mortarian's Hammer. I don't think needs a 6-man. I think 3-mans you can get away with, and I think you can get away with 3-mans in the Champions of Contagion, just because if you do run into something like a monolith or something, you do have the free CP kill god combo for the 4 rerolls to hit and wound plus crit 5s, and a lot of Contagion plus 3 Death Shroud into that with the full whammy up has a real good chance of still just wrecking that thing, especially with a lot of Contagion. It's flat 3 damage. Like when they connect, like again, 3 of them even go through. There's 12 damage. You basically half killed the monolith right there. And then you've obviously got the other guys and sustains and blah, 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 full rerolls, all that stuff. So I think like the 6-man brick for me serves the purpose of being that anchor unit that's just going to be a massive bully. And on that go turn, it goes into the middle objective and it just basically says, look, you want to shoot this unit, go for it. I'm going to minus some damage it. You're going to shoot your entire army at it, which means like your Rhino, Plague Marines might have a 3-man Death Shroud and normal vehicles aren't getting shot for the turn. So that kind of why it works for me. I don't think a 6-man's bad in any list, but I don't know if I'd say it's auto-include just yet. I will say, though, Death Shroud, just period, do feel auto-include. Like, just the ability to just 6-inch on top of someone and just charge, it's really good. Like, even just I've seen lists with Mortarian's Hammer, just 3 bare bones Death Shroud, and they still do enough work to make themselves valuable.
Yeah.
I don't think you need characters in everyone. But for me personally, like I said, I like the big chunky brick just because I can slam the -1 damage on it and be like, this is really hard to shift. So, what about you, Dave, in your game?
Sorry, this is just a silly question whenever we talk about these things for me. So I don't think I even should be in the conversation because I'm just horribly biased about it. I will always take 6 with I will build all of my lists with 6 Death Shroud in it to start with. Actually, that is what I build all of my lists with. There is always that plus a Lord of Contagion.
Should we go Death Shroud, Dave?
This is what everyone's saying in chat, and I might have to change it. But it's that unit for me, when it's been 4-inch movement, when it's been in 9th, when it's been in 10th, I've always made it work. Whether I've used it as the I've made a hole and dropped it in by killing out stuff. Whether I've just used it to reinforce my my midboard and then had this kind of like anvil sat there ready to jump out and kill whatever it's, or whether it's been a sticking the cultists on the middle, having the Death Shroud parked right against the wall after that and just going, whatever you put out there to try and take that point afterwards, I am killing you off of it and it doesn't matter. And now it's actually even more so that way. So I'll give you a real rapid version of my game against Space Wolves. So I took, unsurprisingly, Death Lord's Chosen. I had 6 Death Shroud, 3 Death Shroud, and 3 Death Shroud. 6 with LOC, 3 with LOC, 3 with LOV. The 3 with LOV and the 1-inch movement were there for Vile Vigor, were there to basically get line of sight with the Lord of Virulence. Sitting behind, I was also playing Purge Will, actually. And I went first. I then had Mortarion sat right behind the kind of the kind of double L, the main L, and I had then tailed some Poxwalkers back to be within 6 of Mortarion and still on the middle. So if anyone came near, if he came near me, I could reactive move them back behind the wall and basically just jump back and then he'd leave them some units in the open. I had 2 units of 10 Poxwalkers, a unit of Spawn, a 5-man with Biologist Putrefier. Shooty-ish, sat on my home behind the wall with the Tallyman. I had Mortarion. I've said that, and triple heavy blight launcher drone, and that was it. And I looked at it to start with and was like, this feels like a kind of punchy list. Is it going to work? It really worked. I scored 94 on tactical, even with that. And basically, like I said, I stuck the Poxwalkers on the middle within 6 of Morty to basically reactive move back behind the wall. I didn't need to because he then staged everything, like Terminators, 2 Dreads, loads of stuff behind his big L. And then all I did in my turn was I killed, he had some Thunderwolf Cav at the top. I just got the LOV to have line of sight onto it. I deleted it with 2 drones, just gone. He then put a Dreadnought out to try and shoot me back in his turn. Didn't win the drones. So then what I did was I had the Poxwalkers 10 on the top objective. They just moved out, put the Dreadnought within 6. I moved in advance the Poxwalkers I had on the middle and put all of everything he had behind the middle in contagion range. And I then dropped 6 Death Shroud with the Lord of Contagion on him, and then 3 Death Shroud with the Lord of Contagion on him, and then had 3 Death Shroud with the Lord of Virulence sat behind the wall and Mortarion ready to pounce afterwards. So I charged into them, slammed into him with 9 Death Shroud with 2 Lords of Contagion, killed an absolute truckload of stuff, stayed in combat with some things. I stank shock. He then came in with hit me back with a load of stuff and charged in. I lost 2 Terminators. I fought on death and I killed more with fighting on death back in with the 2. We then had a round where then he lost both the Dreadnoughts. I killed the other Dreadnought with shooting. The Poxwalkers then charged in. And I basically, the walls didn't get out of their deployment zone. And I basically had this chunk of Death Shroud just chewing through all of his units at the top of board. And then I basically he did charge some intercessors into my Poxwalkers on the middle, but then Mortarion just came out and just killed all of them. A drone then sat on the middle. Mortarion then flew to his bottom objective and then charged a 6-inch charge into the intercessors on that and killed them. His last unit of Thundercav charged Mortarion. Mortarion just killed them. And so I ended up with Death Shroud on his home objective as well. So it was like 95 to 41. And I actually think this actually is a really reliable tactic to go stick some Pox on the middle, get ready to drop them back with Mortarion. So if you're a unit, put that, and then just bring stuff out. If they don't try, they won't be able to charge you because you'll be an inch off the wall when you drop back. If they then stage, you just put them in contagion, and you can do it in 2 places to make sure everything is afflicted, and therefore you get all your deep strikes in at 6, and then the charges are pretty unfailable. Plus, the mortal wounds started chewing through stuff from turn 2 onwards. Because everything was afflicted. So many units, like one of his Dreadnoughts had a wound left, and it just died in his command phase, and then it exploded. It was like And then obviously every turn, even if I lost a couple, I was able to fight on death and kill back. Or I was then, and I still had the 3-man with the LOV to charge in really easily with a 5-inch move and then a 4-inch charge next turn to just replace all the Death Shroud that I lost. And then that just wrecked through the rest of it. So it was very hard for him to deal with. And I wasn't sure it was going to go that it was going to be that savagely. But once I was like, hang on, I can just use 2 units of 10 Poxwalkers to put everything in Affliction. And now I'm just going to drop my Nasty Boys on you straight away and get straight into combat. So from turn 2, I was in melee with 9 Death Shroud into all of his front line. So I personally, but that is also, it's one game, it's one example, and it's also very much how I like to play the game. Like I said, Sledgehammer, Death Shroud, and Sledgehammer, Death Guard. But it was really, really effective, and it just meant my Spawn was sat on my expansion, happily scoring. I had the Tallyman sat on my home doing a bit of screening. I had 5 I had 5 Plague Marines sat in the building. He did drop some another Intercessor for 5 Marines in from reserve. Did a nice job, scored because it was a diagonal deployment, so he scored behind enemy lines and established locus with 1 unit, which was nice. But then I just brought the Plague Marines out and they just shot that unit off. So it was, and even if they'd survived, they would have been afflicted. And I also had redundant shooting from the drones, which were just floating around at the back screening. And the moment all the screening threats had gone, then you've got 3 drones, but 10-inch move, ready to fly around and just pick up whatever's left. So cool. It was very effective. Sorry, that was a bit of a ramble, but
it was a really interesting
game, and it worked really, really well. It was very strong.
So I just want to answer a question that I saw in chat, and that was, so if Death Shroud is so good, why not just run 3 times 6? So to answer that one, it's a lot of points. 900 points is less than half your army, but it's still like massive bricks of stuff. Warhammer at the moment is quite MSU heavy, and you will generally just get outscored on that front.
Yep.
Not to mention that you also give your opponent, by actually taking more than 1 6-man, sometimes you actually give your opponent an easier question to answer. If I put 1 6-man on the middle and press you with rhinos and other things like that, then you are like, okay, if I shoot that Death Shroud brick, I know what's going to happen. He's going to press a CP, I'm going -1 damage. If I present you with 2 6-man Death Shroud bricks, you go in your head, well, he can only -1 damage one of them.
Yeah.
So I'll force him to use it in one place, then I'll focus all the fire on the other squad that doesn't have it. So you kind of give them an easier answer to the problem you're trying to give them. But really the main problem is that a lot of the time you just don't need it. Like, you will do better and you will score better having less things. Like, I don't even think 6-man right now is basically forced. Like, you don't have to have a 6-man brick. 3-man bricks are doing really well. I considered my Virulent Vectorium list with 3-mans instead, so 2 3-mans. And then the 160 points I save because of the 20 extra points for the 6-man tax could get me a Defiler. So, like, I could have a Defiler and now I have a much better shooting fire base. But at the moment, I want the security of knowing I have a massive anchor unit on the midpoint. So, like, there's plenty of room still to go about. I don't feel like 6-man is forced at all. And 3-man plays that completely. Like, 3-man with characters, 3-man without characters, like Death Shroud, are just good in general. Just because their rule, the fact that they don't have to have a character for the rule anymore is such a nice change. Like, not being forced to feel forced to like put an 80-point character in there. So, like, also, how is a 6-man Death Shroud overkill if you can always do the sweep? So what we mean when we say overkill is a 3-man squad of Death Shroud with a lot of contagion will kill pretty much everything it touches. So the fact you now have a 6-man makes no difference to the outcome of what just happened. You charged and you killed something and it is dead and you're now going to get shot. So if you can do that for less points investment, then that generally tends to be more efficient. You don't, for example, you don't need a 300 or 410 point brick of Death Shroud to kill like 5 intercessors. Like when
and in Death Lord's Chosen, the 3-man gets full rerolls for 1 CP.
Yeah, so like, they're going to go and just like absolutely mop out. It's just about efficiency because some games, and a lot of games actually come down to trading and how well you trade into your opponent. So if you're having to throw away a 400-point unit to just clear some off an objective, which you then lose in response, you're losing the trade game. Whereas if you can drop a 140-point unit Death Shroud, they kill it, fair enough, then it's a lot less of a loss on your side. So it helps you in that trade game there. So yeah, it's just the way it works. Whip as well says, is competitive always objective points based? Is it ever just attack and defend? Competitive is always, at the moment, based on the mission cards and scoring, because attack and defend, killing stuff, and just like trying to hold on is a very bad metric of how to play Warhammer, because certain armies just ain't that good at killing, especially when they're put into certain matchups. And you would have far more auto win and auto loss matchups if it was just down to attack and defender. Like right now, imagine orcs. imagine orc horde into us right now if it was just kill. That's all that mattered. You'd get rolled.
There used to be, I think it was 8th edition, used to have a rule called Boots on the Ground, where if your opponent killed every model in your army, you lost the game. The person who had their models destroyed. And it used to create some feel bads where one person would try and actually play the game. Maybe he would like have scored, and the other person could literally have a game plan. I'm going to not try and score a single point in this game, and my whole game plan is to try and destroy your army. Like Dave Irwin in the chat, the head of UK, he was the master at making those kind of lists. Yeah, he was the master at making those kind of lists where it was like all the big damage combos, all the big damage. Mission, what's that? Like, I'm going to try and kill you. Turn 4, you've got 2 models left. Turn 5, I'm going to hunt those 2 models down. Right, I've won the game because you've got no models left. Like that. And that is a bit of a play style that I think they wanted to move away from, because some armies could do it. They kill everything, some armies couldn't. And when the new Codex came out, it was a bit overtuned. Like Double Oath, Ultramarines would be a prime example. You could have oppressive games where it was like, all right, okay, so you're going to table me. It doesn't matter what I do. I can't table you. So what, like... we're going to play 4 turns, and at the end I'm going to like have 1 model left. Probably not though, and you win even though I was the one who played the game and you didn't try. Brilliant. Like that was good. Like who was the most skilled in this? So I think that's what they're trying to move away from. You know, so I don't know if they'll bring it back on at the next edition, but yeah, that's why they've stopped it, I think.
Yeah, so for Taj, who's asking, you don't lose the game automatically anymore if you get tabled. It's very likely you'll lose the game, but what actually happens is if a player gets tabled, the game just continues, just the one player plays, so they'll draw cards, they'll score them, they'll hold objectives and score them. But, for example, if you got tabled on turn 5, but you were 40 points on top of your enemy, you no longer auto-lose because of tabling, and you can still win the game even whilst tabled. Tabling does not equal win anymore. Very quickly, thank you very much to, we've got Patsiv1412 for coming in Plague Marine, thank you so much. We've got also Mr. Quack coming in with a £2 super chat, thank you very much, Mr. Quack, appreciate that. Lazy Chicken with the 1 gifted membership, thank you so much, Lazy Chicken. And Chad coming in with a $20 super chat, thank you so much, mate. If we're still talking new units we want, I'd like to see Blightlord Terminators with heavy weapons, i.e. Plague Spitters, heavy Blight Launcher, and entropy cannons. No missile, so like that'd be like Havocs but Terminator variation. That could be quite cool.
I love if we got Havocs, yeah.
But like Terminator Havocs, that'd be pretty sick.
Terminator Havocs would be fun.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah,
I like that. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to see us get any form of heavy weapons teams at this point. Like me want some heavy weapons. Like that would be nice.
Yeah,
we're very infantry killing, no problem. Tanks, I mean, less problem now with the new Codex.
Less problem,
right? But still, sometimes like the T12 bracket can be a bit. Sometimes
T13 is going to be an issue.
T13 is a pain in the ass.
When it pops up, like it's going to be not oppressive, because I think we've got enough nickel and dime damage with 3 damage from. We've got 3 damage all over the place. I think that'll add up.
We can drop 3 T13 models, right, in Taliban.
Yeah. I've got a list with 3.
I've seen that list. Yeah, it looks
and
pretty good.
Yeah. So I don't know, but just sort of looping back to the Terminators, I think what we're talking about with bricks and the killingness of the game, there's a balance in there between sort of killing things and playing the mission. And I think now I think we're in a weird spot where before we had lots of cheap units, now we've got lots of elite, like a few elite ones. I think we now are starting to have to push things away and bring in those cheaper units and think about the mission a little bit more than previous. For example, is 10 Plague Marines good to have in a brick if you've also got another brick elsewhere, or a 2 5-man Plague Marines better? Obviously, detachment depending on what buffs you can give them, but I think the conversations you've got to have when you're thinking about lists, like I suggested today about double Tallyman for I mean, just to reiterate in the chat, so basically 2 Tallymen, you can put them in different spots. You can generally put them in deployment zone in UKTC. She can stand in cover outside deployment zone to do things like sabotage, the awkward secondaries, basically, and kind of do that.
It's only 80 points.
Yeah, two pushing out 2 different screens, and also if you've got the Demon Prince who anchors off an infantry unit, it doesn't exclude characters. So Demon Prince can use them to stand in the open to lawn up, and the Demon Prince can also do an action. So I think it's not to say that it's really good, because obviously then 2 Taliban you also get your CP, but it's things like that might be more of a consideration than before. But I mean, how are you guys finding that? Because obviously, there is a temptation. I've seen a few streams where people have got like all the killy stuff in 6-man Terminators, a 10-man Terminators, Mortarion, and like Aidan was saying before, too many points in sunk into a few units.
You just got to think about scoring. Like it's so that's why, like I said, I was looking at the the 5-man Plague Marine, the spawn, the drones for sitting back early and then just like picking out opportunities. I mean, like it's all kind of doable. I think any list you can mitigate cards, but you can still get the, excuse my French, the shit draw, right? Like kind of in certain turns where like it happens, and it's not a great thing. But I think you certainly can't just build for death. Like it's like we might have it in the job title of our legion, but that's you can't just build just to destroy stuff. It doesn't work that well. And even if you've got even where I've got where I took 6, 3, and 3 Death Shroud, like at least one of those was not having to be committed unless it had to be, and could have done something else. Like it was something that could have done an action for me if I needed to. Could have done area denial. Could have done kind of establish focus in the middle if I needed it. And I still had then Mortarion. I still had a 6-man on the table. I still had a 3-man on the table. I still had spawn up top. I had 5 Plague Marines, had 3 drones, a Tallyman. So I still had other stuff that was able to get on and score the game. And I was certainly thinking about that and not just, hey, cool, let's just bring stuff to murder my opponent.
So I want to try and get the last 50 minutes to the stream, because we'll just do like a chat answering questions. So guys, start putting your questions in. One thing I do before I get into that is coming back to your point about Will, about everyone at the moment just like being obsessed with death balls and just big fat units killing. If I have to watch one more fucking stream game from professional players, and they probably are, but we all know none of them play Death Guard, because Death Guard have historically been bad. So a lot of the really good players, and they are really good players, like don't get me wrong, but they're good players at the armies they play, like Eldar and stuff like that. They're not good at Death Guard. If I see another goddamn battle report where I see like 3 goddamn huge bricks of Death Shroud, and then they lose the game on scoring or just getting out OC'd, I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind.
And when they start the stream by going how overpowered Death Guard is and how it's going to win the game easily.
Yeah, it drives me goddamn mad. Absolutely drives me insane. So we'll do is for this last bit, we'll go to the questions in the chat so you guys can get them in just a bit, and then we'll probably just at about o'clock we'll have about 5 minutes of just a bit of admin talk. Just some things to the channel, and then that'll probably be about it. So Telephoto Mac, thank you very much for becoming a member, mate. Thank you, appreciate it. Again, guys, if you're enjoying it, leave a like and subscribe.
Shake those nurglings.
Shake those nurglings. And if you want to become a member, hit the join button, and you can go to our YouTube channel homepage, click the post tab, and then you'll see a link to get yourself in the Discord. So
just on the join bit, because we've had like I did reply to say we've had 492 comments in the last about 3 weeks. So I'm certainly going to put in some time to go through and like answer a lot of these questions and things there. But a really repeat one is definitely how do I join? And so I know Aidan's put the join link in there. But the other thing on mobile, because we all know that join button is not the most obvious place. If you just go to our homepage, there is a join button on there. It's just click on the name of the channel. That's the easiest way to join as a member on mobile. I just wanted to chat that in quickly.
So going to some of the questions there. So we've got one here. David Shaw. I'm not going to pronounce all the numbers. David Shaw. I'm new to 40k and love Death Guard. I was thinking of 10 Plague Marines plus Biology Putrefier and Playcaster delivered on a Rhino. I think it's only 365 points. I was for each setup, 1 for each objective. So this is a very good unit. You play in Virulent Vectorum, or even in you can technically also play it in Champions of Contagion, because you can get full rerolls in there. You press one command point, you hit full rerolls to hit and wound, and you obliterate whatever you see in shooting. You want all the plasma guns you can get, you want all the blight launchers you can get, a flamer, and then like 4 heavy plague weapons. Now, if you're going to take 2 of these units, what I'd actually recommend is when you say 1 for each objective, naturally, because of the way the board is, one objective you're going to have to be aggressive onto, and one of them is going to be naturally more defensive to your side of the board. So on your defensive one, consider actually swapping one of those characters out for a foul blight spawn, just because that's going to help you defend the objective a lot easier. But your other one definitely wants to bounce Putrefy and Playcaster to just maximize damage. Yeah, it's a very good unit. If you are new to 40k, hello, welcome to 40k. Glad for choosing Death Guard. It's a very good unit. I use that unit. Put it that way. I use that unit, so it's a good unit.
I'll add a little thing there. I think if you swap the Foul Blight spawn, I think also swap the Malignant Playcaster to the Lord of Epoxies. I think it's got a different function in that unit. But the other one, completely right. But also at the same time as that, maybe you want to, if the objective you're attacking, not the one you're defending, maybe 2 5s and one character of your choosing is best. Because then you can kind of throw them out, flip the objective for a turn, kill one, but then realistically the opponent's going to respond and delete whatever's on there. So rather than those 10 Plague Means 5 probably flips it, and then you go again with your next 5 while your 10 is on the other side of the board holding that nice and securely. So that's probably like a solid tactic to sort of to consider. But 2 10s also works. I mean, you see people do that all the time, and you know, I think it's just sort of play style and trial and error. Just some ideas.
So next one we got is Birchie's asking, what do you guys think of a Lord of Contagion with a 3-man Death Shroud and a Lord of Poxes with a 5-man Plague Marine squad that are armed with full melee weapons, all in a Land Raider? So you want to say this one?
Go on, Dave. I feel like this is your forte, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, like the fact that if you want to run this in something like Hammer, you could then take that Land Raider through a wall and then disembark and, you know, kind of have some fun. That's definitely a way to look at it. The other thing is you could use a Land Raider as a really heavy delivery vehicle, a basically bigger Rhino to drop off those Marines onto a point and then keep the Death Shroud in there and then use them to kind of go on elsewhere. And that'd be a good way of doing it. Only reason to probably go down that route is and not put the Marines in a Rhino, which is faster, a smaller base, so a smaller size, easier to maneuver, is probably that you need the las cannons. So if you don't need las cannons because you've got other ways of hurting vehicles, maybe think about another way around. But I certainly would say if you want to ram that down someone's throat, and I know Zito's in chat, that's something he would certainly like to do. That's a horrible combination of things to drop out on somebody.
Yes.
Can I add one thing?
Yeah,
I think everything Dave said there is 100% right. I think it's the problem with that is now it's a counterintuitive play because the Land Raider, you want more Tyrant's Hammer, I think, to make that function. But the units inside get way better buffs than the detachments. So I think you're kind of in that sort of like the units want to be in this detachment, so they get rerolls to hit. But then the Land Raider wants to be in this one, so it can come through the wall. So I think it's kind of a bit of a trade-off there, where you might be better just deep striking the Terminators and putting the Plague Marines in a Rhino, and then you get the best of both worlds. But it's all playstyle. I mean, I'm sure Zito in chat is very hyped on through walls knowing what he was doing, so you might have a complete different opinion on it. But yeah, go. What have we got next?
Nice.
What's next?
Which Contagion is best against Battle Sisters? For me, it's -1 save. Sisters will probably just Miracle Dice any of the shots that actually matter to hit. So like the Melter shots and stuff like that. And it's still good to make them use it on that, but for me, like, Sisters are easy to wound, but have decent armor saves, because only toughness 3 be toughness 2 near you. But they have 3 up armor save, that's kind of like the trade-off for them. So being able to just wound them on pretty much with everything, even bolters on 2s, and just force them to roll up a jillion dice, making those dice save on something worse, they just fall over dead so fucking quickly. And like the really scary units like Morven, Val, and Paragon suits get 4 rolls to hit and wound and damage versus vehicles anyway, so and +1 to hit and wound, so it's not going to affect the units that matter. So just kill them quick, just kill them way quicker. So then we got next. Go, Craig. Go your point, Will.
Just that last one. There's a generic thing you can look at. If your opponent's army saves on better than a 4 on more than 50% of its army, you're always taking the -1 save. Really, even at the better that, you might still take it. If the whole army saves on 5s, for example, it's Gene Stealer, Cult Swear, and T-shirts, you might then consider a different one. But I think that's a good rule to sort of like look at if you're looking for a couple of questions to ask your opponent. Then the answers can give you like a quick sort of decision point.
I asked the different version of that. It's exactly right, Will. That I ask is how many invulns have you got in your army? And I'm like, if I look at the percentage of 4-ups the person's got, and if it's everything, then it's like. But even so, you're making sure things like flamers are pushing people to their invulns, or your Death Shroud are pushing, or Poxwalkers are actually doing damage with the extra AP. So yeah.
It's what's the invuln and what's the save before the
invuln.
invuln.
So
exactly. Custodes 2+4+, you still want the minus save.
Exactly.
But if an army's like demons, everything's a 4+, and it's only a 4+, then you take a different one because it's
Cool. What's next?
So then we got thoughts on 3-man Blight Lord units for action things or just in general. I've not really played around with it yet.
I have an opinion on this, but it's not what you think. Do you know you go first, Dave, and then I'll throw mine because mine's a quick one.
I would. It's too expensive for scoring points.
I think the only time you take them is if you're anchoring your Lord of Virulence with something cheap and you can't afford 3 Death Shroud. I think that's the only time you just want to put them in a unit with some bodies just to sort of soak up fire. I don't think you look at them at any other point, to be honest. And I think even then you only do it if you've got 25 points that's like really got to go elsewhere, and you're just like you've got 115 at the end, and you're like, oh, it's better just have some ablative wounds on him because his buff is so good for the heavy bloat drones. I think that's the only time you look at it, in my opinion.
Next.
Okay, next one. Chuck and I asked Cheese Stream when it's coming. Let me get the main stuff out the way. For fuck's sake.
We're busy.
No escaping it, Aiden. It's coming.
Will, can you do me a favor? Can you get your Codex? Can you open up the Taliban summoners and look at the all is rot stratagem? We've got a question about that. Once you found it, let me know and I'll ask you the question.
Yeah, no probs.
So then we've
got... You guys maybe skip the next question when I find this one then.
Yeah, no worries. Any quick changes to Taliban summon that will make it look more appetizing? I see it's not very popular. I think it's actually underrated.
I was just going to say, it's just because people aren't playing it. People have looked at it and gone, oh, I don't think it's that good compared to the others. You need to get stuff on the table. It can be horrible. So I would say play it.
Yeah, give it a shot first.
It's horrible.
So what was the one that I was?
All is rot.
All is rot.
Does it allow blast weapons to fire into the engagement range? Does it have a caveat? Because if it doesn't, it'll be a straight no.
So I'll just read it out. So 1 Plague Legion unit from your army is within engagement range of 1 or more objective units, a target. Until the end of the phase, enemy units are not considered to be within engagement range of your unit for the purpose of selecting targets of ranged weapons. So I think you can use blast.
That unit is just treated as not being in engagement range, which means all weapons work. And Mike and I covered this in the masterclass.
Oh, fair play. Yeah, fair enough. So you can fire blast weapons there. Excellent. Hey, thank you very much, Will. So yes, you can. Hugh, I think honestly it's just been overlooked because Virulent Vectorum champions and Mortarian's Hammers on everyone's mind at the moment. But I think when you find the little nut job who's going to start experimenting with demons, it's actually a very good list. Then
I thought quickly about the demon one. Don't sleep on the -2 toughness thing, and don't forget that the biggest problem that Great Unclean ones have is the low AP, which you can correct in this. I haven't put on the table yet, but I am very curious to see what it looks like. I really am curious.
I've got a horrible one.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. So next up, we've got this is a really new player question. I've just started playing them after playing Necrons for years. Actually, it's a painting question. Should I go with more box art Death Guard or Grimdark Streak and Grime? What do you think's cooler? Like straight up, like I paint mine kind of like clean. Like, because I just like it, and it's also just easier for me to paint. But there's no wrong answer. It's just whatever you think is personally cooler. Like, both are awesome. I've had people send me photos to use on the YouTube videos. I've seen the cleanest Death Guard that looks sick as fuck, and I've seen the dirtiest, grimiest, most converted, gross Death Guard, which also look cool. So just go with whatever you think is cooler, mate. Honestly.
I'm also going to throw an extra one in that. Also, what is your goal with the painting? If you're painting to go to events, maybe try and think of the scheme that's speed as well. What are you happy? What does it the quickest with the result that you're happy with at the end? Because if you're going to go to events and say you're going to buy an army, so you're going to buy 2,000 points now, by the time you've got it painted, the rules would have changed and half the units probably aren't the best units anymore. So that would be another consideration. If you're looking to go to tournaments, but if you're looking to put it in a cabinet, then, you've got all the time in the world to paint it, then just go with whatever's look. But speed is also an element if you're looking to sort of like be competitive with your army in terms of taking it to tournaments as a focus, as a thing to throw in there.
So we've got 4 minutes left for user questions. I'm going to speed run some of them. Plague Marines, why are you taking Plasma over the Melter? Both are actually fine. I like Plasma for the range and the fact you get to roll more dice, so that means more chances to roll the sustained hits on the 5.
It's also the reason.
Yeah, and the reason range isn't The reason range is important though is because when the Plague Marines shoot a unit, that unit is afflicted until start of your next turn. So 24 inches is much more helpful.
I think there's a bigger one though that I think is also to take into consideration. The sergeant has a plasma gun and the fist. If you're gonna rapid fire like overcharge, it's good to have 2 in the unit. Then if you do fail one on hazardous, you lose not the sergeant. So if you're going to charge afterwards, you keep the fist. I think that's another reason.
Yeah. Cool. True. Is there any reason to take a Lord of Virulence in Death Lords Chosen? Dave, take that one real quickly.
Absolutely, because you basically want to look at a unit and basically get the rerolls on your heavy blight launcher drones. And also, here's a stratagem for 1 CP, which you can see an objective marker. He can make every unit that comes within range of that for 1 CP afflicted.
I think just to also add to that, if you're taking 3 heavy bloat drones, you want him in every list. I don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You get to reroll your blast weapon roll, so yeah, and you will be taking 3.
You will. New question, because I don't remember. Does the Valor's ability to crit on fires work on ranged? Yes, it does. So you can definitely use that on ranged as well. Yesterday, I won the first game using the new Codex rules with Mortarian's Hammer. Excellent, nice one.
Good work.
The -1 save into orcs, or is that another army that is -1 to hit viable? So I mean, I still take -1 to save because I'm -1 to save pilled, and I just want everything to die. I just don't like 6-up save. Nah, fuck that. You ain't getting the save. Just die.
Mike and VT laughed in our chat, and it's in the masterclass because I had said what we always say, which is our goal is to reduce the volume of dice being rolled back at us, and the way you do that is by killing enemy models.
Yeah, but at the same time, like -1 to hit is perfectly fine into orcs. They really don't like it. They really don't like it.
Situational.
Is Morty worth taking in Virulent Vectorum? Yes, it's just a different build, but Mortarian himself can be worth taking in Virulent Vectorum. You just need to make sure you don't really spend too many points on massive bricks because he's a lot of points himself. Then we've got coming to the end of now. My question is, what do you think will be the tone down first from GW and our Codex? So, what do you think is going to get nerfed first? The bloat drone's really going to go up 10 points.
To be honest,
well, I think bloat drone's going up 10 points.
I think they'll probably. I mean, to be fair, first pass, I think they'll end up going up at least 20 points where they finish, but first pass probably 10. I think if we're going to be honest about this, because I grief people in our chat with they can't do their Codex. Defilers are too cheap, probably by 20 points.
Oh yeah,
bloat drones are too cheap by at least 20 points. But Defilers go 20 points, you just won't see them anymore. It's only because they're so cheap you'll see them.
Yeah. Yep.
Bloat drones, Plague Marines are probably 5 points too cheap. Mephitic Blight Haulers probably 5 points too cheap.
Hey,
Death Shroud at least.
Jesus!
Anyone else glad Will isn't doing the MFM?
There's too many nerfs.
Fair, but at the same time, if they do this, I want double up looked at. I want the never-ending 20-man warrior brick and neck ones looked at. I want it all looked at, not just we get looked at. Yeah, so if they're going to do this, and they're going to properly balance the game. But if they just hit us and ignore everyone else, I'd be furious. Yeah.
That's fair.
I think that's it basically. I think Death Shroud are in a. I actually think the 3-men should be more expensive than the 6-men, maybe.
Yeah. Also, really quickly, I don't think we're going to see many changes because we've got EC Book, us, T-Sun's about to drop. Space War, I think if they're sensible, they will kind of, if they're going to write, they're going to wait a little bit and then do a whole load of stuff together.
This could also be like more Dakar. If T-Suns are busted out the gate like I suspect they might be, like we'll just fly under the radar. This time next month, no one will talk about Death Guard anymore, and little T-Suns will get other nerfs and we'll just creep underneath. Yeah.
All right, so wrap up with questions there, just because we've got 5 minutes to do everything. But very quickly, Puffle Bun or Fuffle Bun. Thank you very much for the $4.99 super chat. Being a long time lurker, you got me through a lot of really boring work days. Keep up the excellent work, guys. Thank you so much. I'm glad we managed to make your work day a little bit better. Thank you so much, mate. And T. Craig as well.
We're here for all the lurkers.
Yeah, we are here for the lurkers. T. Craig as well with the $4.99 super chat. Being absolutely loving 10 Black Lords with Demon Prince and Virulent because spamming Disgusting Resilient every turn enrages my opponents trying to kill him. I was running the 10-man Black Lord brick. I had to cut the points because it's a bit more expensive than the 6 Death Shroud. But if I had the points, that would probably actually be a 10-man Black Lord brick, as you saw on the VT stream. But I really wanted the third bloat drone because I'm greedy. So, very quickly, then, just before we wrap up,
did we thank Carl Harrison? Sorry for becoming a Plague Marine.
Oh, did we? Oh, sorry, Kyle Harrison. Thank you very much for becoming a Plague Marine. Kyle Harrison, sorry, not Kyle. Kyle. Thank you so much for becoming a Plague Marine. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much, mate. Right, okay. So obviously videos are going to keep coming. So we're going to try and keep it one a day, unless there's a stream. So it's not one today because the stream is like your video for the day. So they'll keep coming out, so keep looking forward to them. The next attachment up is Death Lord's Chosen. I'm also going to try and get a new Assembly to Annihilation video up, because I see a lot of people who've just got into the faction and bought a Combat Patrol, and they are getting into the faction with Combat Patrol. And do you want to know what the worst part about that is, guys? The Combat Patrol recommended loadout is 4 bolt guns on the Plague Marines. And that makes me cry
right there.
because people are building them with bolt guns, and that makes me cry. So I'm going to hopefully save the world from building bolt gun Plague Marines, which would be awesome. We can hopefully do that. So yeah, that episode will be coming out. Try and jump onto all the new players so you guys have an idea of like what to buy next or where to go with. That could be very cool. Anything on your guys' side? Obviously, Tuesday we're going to carry on our sort of like review or do another 2 detachments. So that is coming up as well. We have got. We're going to be doing a little bit of. We might be doing a bit of changes to do with the sort of like the channel in terms of like membership tiers. I put a post up before in the Discord for Plague Marine members to look at. We might be creating a new membership tier for like Blight Lords or something like that, which will be a bit more expensive. So the base price to get in the Discord stuff is not changing at all. It's still going to be $2.99 to get in. Again, we'll never kick you once you're in. But we want to give a second tier potentially. Again, we're still in chats. Because the main problem I'm having right now is we used to do something called the Plague Surgery every Sunday, which would be this slot right now, where we basically review user lists. And before all this craziness happened the last 2 weeks, it was already becoming quite hard to keep up with demand. Because
I would say quite unmanageable was probably the right way to put it.
Quite horrendously manageable. And now the problem is that if I open the Plague Surgery right now with the massive input of all the new members and stuff, the chances of you getting your list looked at are akin to winning the lottery. I obviously, this is not my full-time job. This is something I do on the side. I have a full-time job, so I can't sit there and filter through everyone's and just try and pick ones that are like super interesting, because I just don't have the time on top of creating all the videos and whatnot at the moment. So we might make a new Plague Marine tier, new Blight Lord tier, which would. The idea would be like we'd pick out the Blight Lords, and then we'd still do a random lottery for 1 or 2 lists from the normal Plague Marine tier. So there will still be some that get reviewed. But I will also make sure the Plague Surgery streams are going to be longer. I'll try and add in a half an hour or something onto it to try and get more covered. But just understand, like, right now we're trying to find a way around. So if you're a Plague Marine in the Discord, go to our content ideas and photos channel and give your feedback on that sort of like topic. And if you've got any ideas how we can help manage it, let us know. But yeah,
there are 993 now. Telephotomax just joined the Discord. People in the Discord alone. So like that's exactly right. There's 1,000 people. So for you guys,
there's another one. Sharp Evil. Thank you very much.
There we go. There see 994.
6 more people. There we go. All you silent people.
Yeah.
You know, we want to hear from you. Don't be shy. Like, I know this is a hobby where some people are a bit more introverted, and it's a nice thing, but we're all here. It's a safe space. We want to talk to you. We want to hear from you about Death Guard. So, you know, join the Discord. You know, like tell us what you've been doing. Show us your hobby. Show us your lists. You know, like we want to hear from you. So hopefully by the end of this, we want to hear some of you guys. You know, join the Discord. Basically, it's not about the money of paying. It's not very much at all. That's just there because Aidan and people have got so much time to manage it. It's more just it's a great way to connect with people. And yeah, it really does open up so much. You know, like it's the whole point of starting this channel was because at the start of it there wasn't something here for the Death Guard community. Other factions had it, and it's been a way for us to just galvanize a following around it. So we want you to be a part of it. So don't just watch the videos and think, whatever reason I don't want to say, I don't want to talk about my army. Get involved, join the Discord. We want to hear from you. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the other thing I would just add is just on the management of Discord and stuff as well is when it was a couple of things I'd add to it is before I even joined it, it was this is as the community stuff is. It's been $2.99 forever for everyone to kind of have access to everything. So, and I think now it's 1,000 people in the Discord, over 11,000 subscribers on YouTube now. There is actually a huge amount of admin that goes on in the background as well to manage it. Aidan's partner Nat's doing a huge amount of work. There's creation of all the graphics, the management of the broadcast and the stream visuals and responding to it.
I'm just going to flex this real quick. I got a new triple guest in the main screen. I'm just going to show the screen. Look at that for upcoming stuff. You're going to have extra stuff. Look at that. So now when we do stuff in the future, it's going to be even more pretty. Look at all this we can have. Yes, see? Look at all this
exactly.
future.
Actually, do you know what? Everyone is, the guys were joking, saying let's get to 1,000 members tonight, and I think everyone's actually really going for it.
Jesus Christ!
Anyway, yeah. So look, it's in the members chat, like Aidan said. Go to jump into the kind of the area of the chat for that bit. Give feedback in.
Yes. We always communicate with you for any changes we're considering, because we want to obviously get your guys' feedback. We don't want to just do something you guys be like, what the hell's going on? So yeah, very quickly, let me just go through these final donations here. So we got 5,000 CLP. I don't know what it stands for, but you say from Chile, so I'm going to say they're Chilean pounds. CLP, Chilean pounds. That makes sense to me. New player here from Chile. Fly below and enjoy. I've been learning a lot from you guys. Last night, I debuted my brand new Codex and lost to Dark Angels 9634. And Nurgle has forsaken me. You're brand new to it. Do not worry, mate.
Forsaken you.
I got my ass handed to me so much when I was brand new. It's all part of the learning process.
100%.
As long as you keep identifying things to get better. And obviously, come into Discord. Tell us how it went, and we can try and help you out.
Yeah. Don't blame Dice. Look at things you could do in movement. Like, we've kind of put a bit of a pause in it because there's so much new happening. But I do a series called Poxwalk Plague Marine, where it focuses on these things, looking at your mistakes, what could you do better, and not blaming Dice, like acknowledging things you could control in the game. So this is all stuff that will come back at some point once we've kind of got all the new stuff out the way. So like Aidan said, stick with it, stay positive, and try and think about things you could have done. Move this unit here, deploy this unit differently. Don't be disheartened, I think.
So you're a new player, you put 34 points on the table, it's only up from there. So just keep going with it, my man.
Chukadora, thank you very much for the 5 gifted memberships. Harvey M91, thank you for becoming a plague. We appreciate that. And then we've also got Taj coming in with the 5 gifted memberships and Strong by bringing it 10. So I think that brings us to 1,000 at this point on the Discord. So,
yeah, I think it does.
So thank you for that, guys. Genuinely, thank you so much. That is massive support. I really appreciate it. But thanks for making admin even harder. So we love you, really.
It's great. We want to hear from you guys. We want to hear from you, and it's a really good thing. I mean, like, let's put it this way, like, Aidan has spent so much of his time making sure all you people have had a video to watch every day. Like, that time is something that, like, the money that you put in the Discord, if you were to work that out into hours, he'd earn more money flipping burgers in McDonald's. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's not driving a Ferrari. Like, it's just giving something back to, you know, Aidan in this instance, of someone who's, like, invested his time. And I think, you know, the Discord is just one little way to say thank you, you know. So yeah, so thanks to everyone who's joined. We hope that we hope that, you know, more of you want to join, and not just for the financial reasons, also because it's a great place to meet like-minded people.
995 officially on Discord now. You guys have got literally got about 2 minutes to get the last 5 of you registered.
You can do it, guys.
Get to the post tab on the YouTube homepage. Discord link is there.
I reckon there's 100 people just filling the last bit of the details in now. You're going to get a big huge spike. It's going to be like, no.
So, but yeah, I mean, like, you guys got anything do you want to just quickly mention? I'm going to try and convince Nat to let me go to an RTT on the Monday, not this week, next week.
No, the only couple of bits I was just going to mention just directly from us.
Is that the clumsy Orc one? Lords of WoW one, yeah.
I was literally just going to say the 2 ones just directly for us. We won't do the whole lot tonight, but visit drpstore.com to get merchandise for the channel, where we've been also receiving some brilliant photos from people in the community. Chuck, thank you for yours. People in their kit, and Aidan, you sent a picture of like running into people with the hoodie on, which is amazing. Which is great. And also, if you go to Baron of Dice, they will be in stock finally, after running out again with our Disgustingly Resilient dice. You can back order them, and in a month they will be fully in stock, and he's promised me will be in stock forever. So for everyone who's joined and you're looking for our official dice, head to the merch site and dice page. In there you can find pictures of what it looks like and where to get it. And there's links in the description of where you can order.
Dana Johnson coming with 10 more gifted memberships. Holy shit. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it.
You've got 5 of you.
Also, I'm going to quickly throw in the Element Games affiliate as well.
196 person has joined. You've got 4 more. Come on, guys.
Come on, guys. You can do it.
We're eking this out for you.
So we are affiliated with Element Games. there's a link in the video description on the channel homepage. All it means is if you buy new models, it's a discount store in the UK, costs you less than it does to buy direct from GW, and we get a little kickback when you go through that link. It's not much given back to us, but it doesn't cost you any extra. And obviously there's so much to buy right now for Death Guard. It's really good just to be aware of that. I don't know. Do you want to mention Saltire and kind of really eke this out and see if we can get those last few Discord subscribers?
Saltire are currently working on upgrading their gaming aid set to just include all the new things like affliction markers.
197 is it?
So you can go check them out still and sell Saltire games. And oh yeah, masterclass. Why not? Fuck it. If we're drawing out minutes here, let's draw out a few more. If you are interested at all at getting the masterclass series that myself and Dave went down to VT to record with them, you can check that in the link in the description of this video. It's got me and Dave going over every single detachment, giving some tabletop examples, talking about it. There's a sample list for every single one. Some people in the chat, I think Chuck Inori has been watching that today as well, and we've had good feedback from it, which is really nice to hear because we put quite a bit of effort into that. We were quite a bit tired at the end of that one, weren't we, Dave?
Yeah, 2 12-hour days was pretty severe. 900, yes, 997. Yeah, it was very, very long work, but it was certainly good to be with a group of people who were so well set up and set up for doing it. And I've actually been watching the masterclass now, and watching because Aidan and I were in different rooms recording different things, so we actually don't know what we were saying.
I have no idea what Dave said. I genuinely
we have no idea what we were talking about. So I've been watching it back and actually been really enjoying watching Aidan's content. 998th is in.
Oh God!
Two more. I think I've got one more thing I can eke this out with as well. I was just trying to work.
Well, I can go on. We'll do yours, and then I can talk about Vanguard.
I'm gonna let you hit 99. I'm gonna end the stream.
Okay, so for those people who live in the North of England or want to travel, also at Element Games, my team Stonehammer. I'm not on Vanguard Tactics. We run events there. Aidan is often in attendance, normally on the podium, winning another free ticket. Because if you come top 3, you win a free ticket to a next event. We do have one coming up in July. I'm just trying to find the date because I'm crap enough that I don't know.
Is this the Protect Your Neck? Is it?
It is, yeah. Do you know off the head it?
No, I really actually don't. This. Is it 27th?
I think it's the 50th. I think it's the 15th. I can't find it on the element. Oh, there we go. It's 19th and 20th of July. So if you want to come down, Aidan may well be in attendance. Hopefully he is. Dave, if you want to come down, it's 2,000 points Element Games. It's quite a well-respected tournament at this point. We've run for years. We often have people from various high-ranking teams, Team England members and things like that sometimes turn up in attendance. We'd love to have you down there. I always love having a big Death Guard contingent. But yeah, if you've got Element Games and the events tickets, you can go down there. And I also even think you can use the affiliate link to buy them as well. So yeah, go on. Where are we at with the Discord? Have we?
You guys are actually fucking nuts. Darren M sent another gifted membership alongside Cranky Kogan, and Tentacles has sent 2 in.
The dying moments
Jesus
of the stream.
Christ, you guys are absolutely mental. Thank you so much.
As Will said, both Aidan and I both play for Vanguard Tactics. We went down and filmed the masterclass. There's that. They also have a whole range of other things. There's an academy that opens up once a year. There's different masterclasses they release on different enemies and different opponents. They have live streams about 3 times a week. They have members' lounges. They're definitely worth checking out. And they have free battle reports up, which are very high quality. So make sure you definitely go and check those guys out. The link is in the description down below. Guys, in a minute, I'm going to have to start talking about my cat. So you better hurry up. And these last 2 people better start.
We're going to just put Aidan and Dave's pet corner.
Yeah, we're going to get.
I'll do the music to it.
I'll start talking about pictures of my cat or something pretty soon. So you guys better hurry up. Come on, otherwise Aidan is going to close the stream. So you guys are going to have to kind of do it. Come on. I guess if we can find a Discord link, see if we're going to share that in as well.
If you share that, everyone will get access to it, Dave. Don't do that.
Yeah, true. No, I won't. Don't worry. I was joking. Don't worry. I'm just like
we can't. So if anyone asking, actually, the reason that we keep it to at least having to have 1 membership at a certain point on Gifted, is it kind of controls. It's a way of controlling toxicity in a way, because if you've paid to get in there, you're going to behave yourself. And I think it works because there is other Nurgle servers and they are good. Like I used to be massive parts of them as well. But sometimes because anyone can join, people will join with not so desirable traits, and they will eventually get booted. But it does happen for a bit. Whereas like we've had a really good positive community because everyone sort of is here willingly to join.
Yeah.
And, you know, joining all the good stuff. Kirby, Kirby, up.
There we go.
I'm going
to
so
if you come in this area, we'll just keep passing this out on the whole thing.
Get my cat out from under the bed. Hold on.
We will be back on Tuesday. Tuesday at 7 p.m. UK time is our weekly stream where the three of us get together and we talk about it. We have been doing running through the Codex. We've been doing 2 detachments. Last Tuesday we'll do 2 detachments. This Tuesday we don't know which 2 yet, but it's in expansion to Aiden's kind of deep diving videos. The three of us kind of talk about. We might ask each other questions and then we'll share it. People in the chat can ask their questions and we'll answer them as well. So it's kind of a bit more interactive. Come on, guys, one more.
Who will be number 1,000? I can't hold the sharp paper much longer. It's so heavy.
Oh, Dave, that is. As someone who used to foster cats, that is the cutest cat, Dave. Classic cat, like, I will let you touch me, but I'm not happy about it.
Come on, 999, one more.
Who's going to be the 1,000th member?
One more, and then we can all go and get some food.
Go be the 1,000th member, then we'll read you out. Go and you can get read out. Go, if you're the 1,000th member, we'll give you a free super chat thing.
Yeah.
Who is it going to be? Who's it gonna
Someone's
be?
going to do it. God.
Come on, guys. You can do it. Have you guys read out the last 2?
Actually, well, when this happens, we will officially have a legion. A chapter, sorry, chapter.
Oh, I hadn't even thought.
We got a
of
legion
that,
of subscribers, but we'll have a chapter.
Oh, actually, Aidan, when you're in Element Games on Thursday, I'll show you it there. We'll take a picture together. They've been getting some props of like life-size Space Marine bits. They've actually got a Death Guard helmet in there. They're just finishing up at the moment. So we'll have to get you a picture with it under your arm. And then when you come down as well eventually, Dave, we'll all have to get one.
Yeah, that'd be really good.
Properly join the Legion then.
Oh,
come on, who's going to be the 1,000th Legionnaire?
Thank you again so much to Lazy Chicken for number 1. Izzy the War Master coming with 5. Thank you so much, Izzy. Really appreciate that. 5 is immense.
Thanks, man.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Nate as well.
in the padded out.
Chris GR1S Plague Raid Tentacles coming with another one. New also coming with Plague Raid. Sheev is my city also coming with Plague Raid, and Andrew Collins becoming a Plague Raid.
Wow, Aidan, you must be calling in life. You should be calling auctions.
Yeah,
I think that's right. I think it's going to be giveaway time. So for next stream, we'll make sure we cook up a giveaway to celebrate. Well, if we get that 1,000th member, we're still on 999 right
apparently
now.
nobody wants to be the 1,000th member.
I know, we're still waiting. What's the price I fall for reaching 1,000 members in Discord? You get to personally come to my house and feed me a piece of cheese. There you go.
Wow.
Oh, what, mate? I bet remember when Don Houston did his flat with £100 super chat? I bet Don Houston's like a second membership.
So people who just got gifted, so whoever just got gifted a membership and has just become a member, go to our YouTube channel homepage, go to the post tab. You will see a link, click it, and you will become the 1,000th Plague Marine. You will become our final of the original chapter of Plague Marines.
Kyla DM, welcome to being a Plague Marine as well. Thank you very much.
It could be
Are you going to be the 1,000th? Oh, and Theodore Delta as well.
Ooh, this is tense.
Gris is the 1,000th.
Gris, he did it!
Hooray! Let's have some 7s in the chat, please, people.
Oh, Sheev just coming in seconds later. Oh, sorry, Sheev.
Oh, no.
Congratulations.
Oh, no, yeah, you can read the both out.
Yeah, we did it. Thank you. Okay, so we'll make sure there's a giveaway for. I'll figure some out on Tuesday. So we'll announce a new giveaway on Tuesday. So if you are a Plague Marine, keep an eye on that giveaway tab in that Discord.
Just come in at 1,002 as well.
Oh my God, guys. That's it. You know what that means? We've got to stay until 2,000 now. Let's go again.
Have a single shake.
So
let's go, everyone. That was amazing. That was a really fun end. Thank you, everyone.
That was good.
That was really good.
So, rather because we're just going to loop back on again now, this is just going to start. We're going to be on another half hour. I think that's a good time to call. Unless you guys have anything you want to add?
No, all good. It's lovely to hang out with you guys as always, and thanks to everyone in the community. Thank you to Aidan for kicking out such a bunch of killer videos. We've got an amazing Codex. Thank you to everyone who's been watching. I will share at some point, because it'll be funny, the stats on what's been going on, because it's absolutely crazy the amount of content you guys have been watching. And the fact that there is now an 11K number underneath our YouTube channel name is absolutely wild. So thank you, everybody, so much.
Yeah, and just a quick last thing from me. Me and Nat have been looking at some those little, those little recording cameras that like to stay nice and stable specifically when you're walking around tables. I'm sure it's not relevant to any upcoming planned potential content.
Of course not.
But yeah, so just just thought I'd throw that out there for a bit of random information. You never know.
Random information.
You're very welcome, Sky DDT. I'm glad we make your Death Guard journey a bit easier. Thank you also for tuning in, mate. I really appreciate it. So I think now I need to let Will and Dave go and get some food. Hopefully, I'm sure their misses and partners will understand the extreme reliance on them to be here for that.
Well, I'm paying for takeaway now. I think that's gonna be my forfeit. If
I already cooked a barbecue today and sorted it out for her. So as far as I'm concerned, this is owned.
Fair play. All right, I'll let you guys get going. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and we will catch you all. It'll be Tuesday the next live stream, and again I will have the giveaway up on there. So I will see you all on Tuesday. Stay around, everybody. Take care and get yourself in that Discord and get yourself joined in the conversations because it's very, very live and very active at the moment.
See you later, guys.
Thank you so much, everyone. We'll catch you all on the next episode. Stay around. Bye-bye.
In the void, where the warm winds howl, a fleet once noble, now destined to fall. Brave wardens stir, betrayal takes shape, Typhon's whispers, sealing their fate. Navigators lost to the shadowed lie, a fleet adrift beneath a darkened sky. The warp's cruel grasp, unyielding and tight, chaos awaits in the endless night. Whispers of power, a pestilent tide, Mortarian's pride, with nowhere to hide. The destroyer plague, a grim reward, Nurgle's laughter echoes aboard. Bound by decay, they rise in his name. The Death God transformed, never the same. Plague-born sons with torment they bled, shambling forth where angels fear to tread. Mortarian stands, his sons by his side. Through agony storm, their oaths collide. Grandfather's hand, the pact is sealed. The Legion reborn, their fate revealed. Rise in the armor, rot in the soul. A Primarch remade, his heart grown cold. In terror's shadow, their war drums beat. Pestilent warriors, no chance of retreat. Through breach and ruin, their banners fly. With death's embrace, they'll never die. The Lion's Gate, where hope was torn. Jagged ties, blade meets the Plague-born. Bound by decay, they rise in his name. The Death God transformed, never the same. Plague-born sons with torment they bled, shambling forth where angels fear to tread. Typhus herald, chaos born, Mortarian's wrath, the plague sworn. In the warp, their legacy thrives, eternal servants where corruption lies. Mortarians fall, Typhus ascends, the Death God song, it never ends.